How do we move from God's judgment to God's blessing? Curse and blessing, it's a major theme in the Torah. Obedience leads to blessing, but disobedience to God leads to curse. But when we have been disobedient, is there still hope beyond the curse of judgment? Parshat Noach shows us there is. The story of Noah, it's one of terrible judgment, an earth cursed back into watery chaos because of human rebellion against God. But it's not only a story of judgment, it's also the record of God's redemption. It moves from judgment to blessing after a pivotal action of Noah. The Lord is a God of absolute goodness. He is a light in which is no darkness. But what if humanity gets thoroughly corrupted? What should God, who desires a relationship with us, do? God saw that every intention of the thoughts of man's heart was only evil continually. The earth was filled with violence. Genesis tells us that what had become of his creation grieved him to his heart. So God hit the reset button with a flood to destroy mankind. But Noah was a righteous man, blameless in his generation. Blameless in his generation? Is that only a backhanded compliment, as some rabbis suggested? Is he only okay compared to his wicked generation? Or is he really a hero of the Torah? Regardless, there were great expectations of him from his birth. His father calls him Noach, which means rest, comfort, saying, "This one will give us relief from our work, from the painful toil of our hands, from the ground which the Lord has cursed." And the obedient and faithful Noah indeed breaks through to a new world. He builds the ark, that seaworthy life capsule. And he and all who belong to him are saved. Adam's sin brought a curse on the ground. Cain murders his brother and the ground is even further cursed. And now creation seems to be almost completely undone. But the flood waters subside. And Noah, as a new righteous head of humanity, brings burnt offerings on an altar he built. And then we read it. When the Lord smelled the pleasing aroma, the Lord said in his heart, "I will never again curse the ground because of man, because the intention of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I ever strike down every living creature as I have done." Here, right after the flood, right after Noah's sacrifice, for the first time since Adam's sin, Genesis tells us explicitly that the Lord is blessing mankind again. Now, Noah does not bring the ultimate relief from the curse. Evil still resides in the hearts of mankind. Our Parsha even tells us of Noah's own weakness. But Noah shows us how the vicious cycle of disobedience and curse, sin and judgment can be broken. His life is a foreshadowing sign of the ultimate relief, which God will provide. In the Haftorah reading from Isaiah, we hear about this ultimate relief, when the curse is broken forever. This is like the days of Noah to me, as I swore that the waters of Noah should no more go over the earth. So I have sworn that I will not be angry with you and will not rebuke you. For the mountains may depart and the hills be removed, but my steadfast love shall not depart from you, and my covenant of peace shall not be removed, says the Lord, who has compassion on you. Blessing was given after Noah's sacrifice. But this promise of blessing in the Haftorah also comes after a description of a sacrifice. In Isaiah 53, the prophecy about God's righteous servant. He is the most righteous of all generations. He is the Messiah who gives himself as a blameless lamb. He brings the ultimate relief that Noah could not bring. The Messiah brings his people in a totally new world when they recognize him. Curse for disobedience and blessing for obedience, the Torah teaches. But how can we move from deserved curse to being completely blessed? Only through the sacrifice of Messiah. By faith in his atoning sacrifice, we are saved from judgment, just as Noah's family was saved in the ark. Do you know the identity of this Messiah? We invite you to explore this more on our website, and we are ready to talk about it. And we long for the day when it will be completely true for his people what God promised. My covenant of peace shall not be removed, says the Lord, who has compassion on you. In Messiah there is no condemnation. Every possible curse is lifted. May that peace be upon Israel.